I'm back. I just had to fix my potatoes. I decided, you know what? Let me just come and eat it while I'm here so I can just talk to them while it's on my mind. Okay. I tell you, don't lend and don't borrow. If you're around poverty-stricken bitches and niggas and shit, leave them alone. You don't want nobody with that spirit on them anyway. Because everywhere they go is trouble and they big. Got a begging spirit on them. Bitch beg everywhere she motherfucking go. Get rid of a bitch like that. Because if she begging you, she begging somebody close to you, somebody around you, and somebody just finished fucking with her they got tired of before you get fucked. Or after you get fucking with her, they got somebody else to go beg to and that bitch get tired. And somebody else that you don't know about they fucking get away from somebody with a begging demon on them. Because the spirit create that trouble for them everywhere they motherfucking go. And they create it for themselves because of the type of spirit they got on them. Okay? And you want to take your uncrossing bath and have your candles lit every day. If you want to put them out before it's nobody's at home to watch them, that's fine. Relight them when you get home. Teach your children to pray and read their scripture, whatever spiritual books, chants. You can deal with different modalities of spirituality and practicing English or other cultures. It doesn't really matter. It's what you're drawn to. But it's definitely important to pray by yourself and meditate and visualize every day and write your goals out every day before you go out and just really watch who you talk to, okay? And keep to yourself. One other thing DMX was telling me, oh, this potato good. When I was listening to his music, I love the music. There's a lot of music I love, but I can't listen to it no more. Hey, babe. Hey, TK Kelly. Hey. Hey, Yvonne. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Latoya. Everything earlier this year, I had to cut someone off every interaction. And I'm telling you, baby, don't do it because you don't know their intentions. They either holding on to you too bad because they see that you're more of a money magnet than they are. But that spirit on them is going to start to drain you or somebody around you, somebody you trust. It'll create drainages in your household, your job, anything. Be careful. Don't somebody always beg and get the fuck away from like that. Or they deliberately doing it to you out of jealousy for you. Don't want you to have it and mad because they got to. Do you know where people will resent you because you give them things? They constantly have to ask you and mad because you got they don't. Leave a, I'm telling you, I learned the hard way. Leave a bitch like that alone, goddamn it. Well, because as soon as you cut the bitch off, the bitch ain't gonna talk to you no much, no way. Every time you see them and every week they begging, the person got a Hank spirit on them. You ain't heard country people talking about no Hank, a ghost, a dead spirit and shit hanging around a haunted house and shit, an empty house where they use a Hank. They get away from that bitch. Bitch don't mean you no good. She don't even mean herself no goddamn good. You know why? Because she'll step her pussy game up. And she probably fucking somebody. And you fucking somebody, bitch, with a dry purse and a wet ass. It just don't add up, ho. She's a dumb bitch. And she could have think you won. You cut your blessings like that. DMX told me, don't listen to all that music. He said, even mine. He said, because they had him possessed and bound up with so many demons. And they have him crawling all over the record. And he mentioned Archons. He showed me the spider. That's one of the animals that are out with the predators. All the predators or animals are out right now. And one is the insignificant spider that crawled up the water spout. Out came the rain and washed the spider out and humped the dumped the ass. Which would also represent an egg, which would represent what, a chicken, which would represent poultry, which would represent bird flu. You need to be careful because he showed me Humpty Dumpty. And when Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, what? Humpty Dumpty had a goddamn great fall. They finna bring down the meat and poultry industry. You will see more. And it's on purpose. It's not because it's naturally meant that way. They're doing that. You see what I'm saying? See, look at these nursery rhymes. The nursery rhyme have a real bad dark meaning to them. And all those people, like the Hansel and Gretel's one, they like eating off the flesh of children. but they don't want you to know that. So they dressed it up and disguised it with the teachers. And who are the closest ones that are easy to kidnap and kill and murder and torture children and hang them up and put them in the basement and the attic? Teachers, preachers, people that you would trust, babies, to read them what? Any bitch that's grown and don't know her history, and I catch, if from now on, if I had any more children I raised around, if I had one, I seen them reading a nursery rhyme, they won't babysit my child no more. Because let me tell you something. It's just like DMX told me. Whether it's conscious or unconscious, whether it's known and unknown, whether it's seen and unseen, this shit will still get into your psyche and get into your soul. Was direct or indirect. So let's say a church going woman don't know no better because she don't know her history. She believe they told about the Bible, which is a lie. She's reading bedtime stories and it happens to be a goddamn nursery rhyme. She don't know, but I guarantee you, because he brought it to me. Go back, think about yourself, or whether you got children that experience this, and whether they watch TV or certain horror movies or even cartoon or Disney. A lot of them children have nightmares or they can't sleep and they piss on themselves. Now, y'all put it in the chat. If you could think back to that happening to you or somebody you know or children you got now or what you have seen, and you don't know where that shit is coming from or why that child is scared of the dog, because ain't nothing happened to the child. Ain't nothing bad happened to the child. Think back to what stories that you read. No matter how harmless, because it might not even be a scary movie, but they're crawling. He said the spiders, the Archons, and the Archons are like in the fourth dimension, but now they're down in the third dimension. They like humans, and they're very demonic, and they're very destructive. They live also in those aerosol sprays that come down at them airplanes. They live in demonic entities. That's what they are, part of that dimension. They are pests and cause sicknesses and problems in the human body and the pet, and will wrap around the house. That's why I told you 4x4. See, that would not be a 369. You would still do the 369 like I told you, but the houses are not built in 369. They're built 4x4. When you're looking at the standard one and you look at all the rooms, the four corners, top and a bottom, above, below every closet, usually a bed. Most of your things, your furniture is built for, but it has 4x4s. Excuse me, no, because I'm looking at one of my old stands right here. I think this was an armoire. Okay, the front of it has 2 doors, but it's square. It's 4x4. The sides, look at the right side, that's another 4x4. The left side of it, side of the armoire is a 4x4. The back of it is a 4x4. The top of it is a 4x4. The bottom of it is a 4x4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You got 24 corners. Do you understand? They're double. What's a triple? The entertainment center you should see me sitting at. You see all them. Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because you have to, it's double doors on the front. You got to open the doors. It's forward now. The drawers, forward now. Do you see what I'm saying? How so easy for you to miss things? He told me this here, and that these things will wrap around the aura and the etheric membrane and the tongue and the brain and the mind and the pussy and dick of a person. He said, why do you think that when they had me singing that music and other people sang this type of music, they sang this all kind of lewd and lascivious sex act and filth come out their mouth? He said, because of the spirits they put on it and the spirit they had on my tongue and in my ass where I did my wife and fucked around and used her and had me high and fucked up. He says the spirit on me was a heavy Baphomet, a demon on me like a ram. It's shaped like a ram in the head with some horn, with a body. He said the demon looked just like him, and it would talk to him DMX said he couldn't always, he's controlled the demon. He would go off and get high because that thing would get on him. And they made sure they put on the music and said they sent out a whole line of women. So they got a list of women at these record labels and shit. They'll send out, they keep them bound. And a lot of them are not females. They could be a natural female, but they got an Olympic god or goddess on them, or more than one. Or it's a man. They coming to rob, steal, kill, and destroy. They're not coming to love him. He said, well, hard to fight that thing because it was on him when Larry Cohen them signed him up and put him in that bathtub full of blood. They sacrificed that goat on him. Y'all remember that? And he told me, look at that song, I'm slipping and I'm falling, I can't get up. He said they were so bound up on him. He said, and they do that to you. He said they walk around with a lot of people thriving to kill, begging to kill, blood, lust, hunger, lust, and this is out for the Hunger Games. He said the Olympic come out like it's one thing on top, but it's really a hunger game for predators. He said when they come to city with this Olympic, a lot of these children finna go under the tunnel. And the adults get missing. Because it's really what's good is bad, what's bad is good. He says right now we let the spider, the lion, the panther, anything that's a predator, wolf, he said, like Duran Duran. Go listen to that old song, Hungry Like the Wolf, they can't help it. Got a predator, he says the time of the predator. So, now y'all tell me if I'm getting the wrong information. Was DMX, did you ever see him hanging with or being friends with Cisco? Thong, and they did the song What They Really Want From It. He said that he fucks men. He was back then. I don't know what he's doing now. He ain't made no more music and shit. And I think one of the members of his band admitted they had to do some satanic shit for that group to be successful. He got tired of him dealing with he knew about him sucking all them dicks and said men's and women's fucking all on him and said all them executive ran a train all on Cisco. I said he just couldn't hang around that shit and fucking all them goddamn mans and shit and bitches fucking him in the front and kiss him in the front and niggas spread, like I said, got him spread eagle and deep dicking him all down his prostate. Thank you, Spirit Goddess, for hitting my cash, putting my cash up there. Hit my cash up, make it clap, goddamn it. I heard what? I'm talking about, this was like he started telling me last night, man, around like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, what? I mean, not that I'm surprised. I mean, because we all thought that Cisco was a sissy. He said, man, he said, everybody, he said, I can't even name, it's so many niggas, like executive niggas ran up in here booted. You know what? DMX said just turned his stomach. He said, because it was this certain shit, no matter how high I got, I wasn't going to do. And everybody got mad at him for no matter how bad that boy was out there on that shit. He said he wasn't finna suck no dick. That was just never a part of his, his psyche and shit. He said he never craved no shit like that. Even when he was in jail, he never want to be no man that had no man on him. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Coco? That blonde hair and eating, I don't know, it was just something very sinuous, like, snakish like about him. The way he move in midsection, switch it like we do, he can take a dick real, like the nigga's fluid, real fluid. And then he got tired of, he ain't even like them niggas around him. Said when he off cameras, that's that real sister come out saying most sisters like, because you look at Cisco, he kind of got them 2 front teeth. They kind of like beaver teeth. It's like bunny rabbit teeth is a little bit in the front, like the tip of his front teeth is at the top, like they can graze across a mushroom tip, and wet it up. That's I don't know. I just and them fur with them jeans and shit. Like no real nigga don't do that. And I think he was talking about that thong. I think he was talking about himself. Some of these niggas, have a fat ass like a woman and sit up and you know, really, they can teach you how to suck some head. And because, you know, that's what they like to do and pride they shit they self on it. And he said that they move first, they make them initiate like that, or they're not going nowhere. They have to do it. And then they end up, a lot of niggas liking that, the way it make them calm and by touching their prostate. You know, that what control a man orgasm is prostate. So you hitting it direct, that make them calm faster. And men get addicted to it. And he said they do that first. He said they get you in the contract, the science track, contract. Get you do that to see how bad you want it, and then you got to keep doing it. And then they don't respect you for it because now you're not a boss, you're a bitch, and you're a slave, and you're a follower. You know, and they know that's only going to last so long. He said then they get tired of them, they cancel them out. Either they cancel them out, but they don't push them no more. They'll say they not selling, or they tired of fucking them and passing them around. They ready for the new meat. You know, the next word, a 10-year-old or a 17-year-old. It's always somebody. That's why, you know, it's a machine. They keep getting more young people they can and getting to sacrifice to their master. Or and then too, they either give them a hot dose or they give them a disease. You know, or get tired of them. No matter how much the public wants them, they don't. And so it's a narcissistic discard. You know, and nothing they can do about it. He said he saw that. And he said, that's fine. They're going to take me out anyway. Even if I don't die, you know, they're going to take me out of the game. So I'd rather go out with my manhood. That's what DMX said. He said, but most of these people don't. They already dead and they don't know it. They walking dead because of the spirits they put on them. He mentioned these Archons. I think it might be Arkons. They're like astral spiders. You cannot get rid of them unless you know that they're there, and then you stop feeding them, and then you start clearing. You have to do a lot of clearing because they like certain people and they like to feed on certain people's energy. And then they will attach, he said, to a certain species of spider that's a predator spider that's looking for a prey, like a brown recluse, of course, a black widow. Any spider like that likes to prey on a human, um, it will shape shift to mimic it. You'll know why, because you'll start seeing them around the house. Um, they will let you. Now it's funny because DMX started telling me this last night as I kept replaying this song. He said, I'm glad you like this song. He said, but Lex, he said, don't play it too much because I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why. He said, and they'll have demons come out of it and get you real addicted where you just like replant it in your head against your own will. You're not even thinking about it. And the radio not on, or you ain't got it on your phone or whatever. And it'll keep, like, you'll be drawn to play it. Because it just keep on a certain song or circuit, just keep circulating on your child. You got to watch your children. Because that's how they started and get them. And got your children masturbating and sucking dick down there in pre-K and first grade and shit. Or you got somebody over there, somebody little child or your niece or nephew over there. And you don't know they getting fucked. And they might not tell you till 10 or 15 goddamn a year later. You walk in on it. By the time you walk in on it, your son done got addicted to it. Whether it's your auntie or his cousin, a female, or a dog, or goddamn male, because a lot of these people are so sick, even little children, they'll add the dogs and stuff in there. You know, he said it's usually tied to how the child is predisposed to a certain video game, a certain app, and certain type of music. He said, I'll go with the video game and the cartoon style video. Look at Travis Scott. What'd he do? Him and some of the other artists, they got like a video game cartoon, tied the music in and tied the demons in. You see what happened to them people when they went over there to his concert a couple of years ago. And I don't think nothing happened to him. Why? Because there are certain people that is controlling, that's promoters, they satanic and drink blood. So they have to do that. See, to you and to the relatives that were there and the people that it happened to, they crying and, oh, my cousin, or You know, my friend, I watched them get stomped and people were watching and walked all over them and they dead. Okay. Your tears, your pain is their pleasure. And that is what they rejoice off of. And they have to have a certain amount of year and a certain amount of at a concert, and then they have insurance for that shit anyway. So whatever payout you get is nothing in comparison to what they get in the soul they just took, and use that person's walking around him like a haint, like I said, and then they call on the person, bind them to the music, bind the demon to it because you have to pay the demon with money and a soul. Then it go out and attract people in for you to do it for the new goddamn it years. You see what I'm saying? Every year. That's what the man told me. And if we don't watch it, some of our children, that's finna happen to right now, or it's already happening to them because you don't watch. See, y'all don't even watch your children inside your goddamn house. I'm not talking about when they outside, when they round the corner, when they at their buddy house or goddamn it Miss Susie Lou house. Cause you got a lot of these grown women like to suck elementary school and high school dick. See, that's why when my son would leave, I did not know it, but like the little boys and stuff he had hanging around him, when they started getting like, you can smell them. Because you start smelling yourself like they, like, your grandmama and, people say, she's smelling herself. Because you start releasing your hormones and you start going through puberty. Oh, she's smelling herself. And some of them little boys was handsome. When, my son started going to high school, when my son wasn't around, I noticed that some of them would wait until my son wasn't around in the evening time, and I hear this. Grandma, no, baby, he's not. I wouldn't even open the door. I would go upstairs in the other bedroom, open the window. Who is it? Oh, Chris home, your son? No, baby, he's not here. You know what? Mm-mm. And I would tell him, and my son would get real angry, because I'm not a man. So a lot of times your children got more sense than you about niggas, especially when they get teenagers and stuff. You a woman, you don't know. And I said, why you mad? He said, Mama, I just seen this nigga, and the nigga knew I wasn't home. He said, okay, that's it right there. I'm finna go over here, and I'm finna body slam this nigga. And I said, why would you do that? He said, because you think he said, I know what the nigga doing. He knew I wasn't there. They these niggas in high school, a lot of they mamas be fucking them boys. And so I don't want my son to think that about me. Then he gonna admit to me, just a few years ago, they had a crew. Where certain people, mama in high school, was fucking them high school boys. I said, oh, so that's why you didn't want nobody around me, because you know what the fuck your nasty, messy ass was over there fucking doing. And he was like, Mama's a lot of us be. You see what I'm saying, Coco? But I didn't think nobody was that young to be thinking like that. I just would kind of feel their little looks and stuff. And then I was like, hey, I would come outside, get in the car, and I try to say hey to his friends, and y'all want something to eat or pizza or something. And I didn't get to say hello because when I come outside, they would all turn their back on me and put their head to the ground. And I would look at my son, and he wouldn't say nothing. And then he cut his eye at them like, yeah, who run it? And then I asked him later on, I said, did I do something wrong? Why your friends do that to me? He said, because I told them to, goddamn it. He said, they're not going to be fucking on my mama. I said, wait a minute. First of all, you know that I would never do something I hurt my child like that. Yeah, well, I know other people mama do. And I told them when you come outside, they better drop their head and turn their back. So I realized now, okay, there was respect. Because my son knows how niggas is, because that's how his motherfucking hoe ass was, goddamn. But these older women, you should put brakes on that right there. The boys are young, dick hot, hormones flowing, testosterone flowing and shit, knowing they want to fuck. So older woman many time, they not finna pay no attention to no high school girl. They because she's still developing, going through puberty. You got a full blown bad bitch. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these goddamn it high school Boy's mama be bad than a motherfucker. You know, you done already went through the puberty, so you got full titties or full pussy with hair all on it, unless you shave it in a different design and shit. You know, you got a nice ass, nice fade hair done, whatever color you want, whatever style you want and shit. You know, the young boy seeing that shit, he going crazy. You know, it's like, you know, moms I like to fuck. You know, so he looking straight at that. And then a lot of these women freaks, they ain't really went through their childhood. So, you know, they ain't been no teenager before. They ain't really go through high school. They ain't had no prom. They ain't had no boyfriends. They might have been getting fucked. They damn so got pregnant 12, 13. So a lot of shit passed them by. So they reliving their childhood and shit through their son or their daughter experiencing shit they never experienced. So that's why it's so easy. Like Mary Ann Letourneau was a grown woman married with children, had a good looking ass husband. I think it was in Canada. Got that little Philippine boy, I think when he was 12 or 13 years old, fucking that boy at school and got pregnant by that goddamn boy. Locked her up, got mad, went and got some more of that Filipino ping ping. That goddamn it ding ding. Ring ding dong. Ring a ding 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 dong. Throw your hand up. You see what I'm saying? She kept on. I think she got locked up again. I think they got tired of locking her up. She ended up marrying him. It done fucked his head up because as time went on, she stole his childhood. He ended up leaving her. You see what I'm saying? Now, TK Kelly, I'm not talking about no older women trying you, baby. I'm talking about the older women trying the young men's and the young men's trying them bike. You see what I'm saying? The grown women throwing their pussy and them boys in high school throwing their dick bike. You see what I'm saying? They doing some straight fucking. They teaching these boys how to goddamn it eat pussy. They see that's why a lot of these young men is real good lovers and real developed lovers turning these young women's out because you just don't know it or they mama don't know. They mama friend or somebody close to them or one of their friend mama and shit been fucking the shit out of them and throwing them how to, showing them how to throw their dick and take some pussy, like some grown woman pussy. You see what I'm saying? That's what I found out. See, I never did it, so I'm kind of slow in that era. I'm glad I am because I don't have to hear those rumors about me, and I don't have to because I saw how painful that was when a lady, I think she was older. I was in the project. I think I told a story a long time ago. All of us younger girls kind of looked up to her because she talked to us in the way my grandmother and our grown women wouldn't talk to us. And told us about sex. She liked to fuck young boys. And her son, she fucked one of her sons. Oh, I'm lying. I'm lying. She fucked a lot of her son's friends, man. They was talking about because one of the guys tried to talk to me. We were the same age. We were like teenagers, and he was like, "I like you. I really like." And I said, you know what? I want to talk to you, but now I changed my mind because I heard that you was fucking Trisha, and I said she's older than you. She's older than your friend. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fucking her. And I was like, how could you do that? That lady built up like the hamburger with that little bit of hair around the side and that little bit of hair in the back with them pop ass eyes. But I guess she can see dicks going in and out of her mouth better with them big ass pop ass eyes gouged all out of her head like she damn been scared 24/7, just bucked up ass eye. And she had a fine ass nigga. He was real black and real goddamn fine. This nigga was so sharp. I was like, why the fuck do niggas like that people the ugly bit? And then we used to see them fighting like they were shadow boxing. Like, the projects we had our fan and shit in the winter because we didn't have no air over there. And we might be standing outside and then my grandmama and them, they messy. They out early in the morning hanging clothes and I'm holding the bag, the paper sack, the wooden clothespin in it. And they putting it, child, did you see that nigga whooping Trisha ass, honey, upstairs? You heard her hollering, honey, they up there scrapping all. I'm talking about, they would start fighting like 10, 11 at night and about 5 in the morning. And then we would see her, she'd be laughing, talking to me, yes, honey, we was fine. You see, I'd be his ass, honey. We fought all night and full. And I'm just like, this lady's so ugly. They had a long ass stomach, navel pointed down on her kneecap. Just an ugly ass bitch. Now I see why. And then the young boy told me, he said, you know what, I'm just going, he said, she paid, like she wait, she'll pay me. I said, what are you talking about? He said, and she eat good booty. So she eat the booty like groceries. They young, they ain't got no money, they from the projects. She making them feel, a young girl don't know nothing about that unless a grown woman teacher or whoever fucking a teacher. So he said she tell them like to sit up on the goddamn washing machine, buck their legs open like a bitch. And she had some real gathered up shot, just I'm telling you, you know, hamburger that be out there. You know how they have hamburger work out there at the McDonald land, goddamn playground. How you take my son out there with that black and red stripe, like a jailhouse jumpsuit on. They got that statue built of the hamburger. She looked it like that and had the same Beetlejuice ass black ring around her goddamn the bottom of her eye that come out on the corner with some sharp gathered up ass teeth. This and some buck ass pop ass eye with a pushed in ass and a long stomach and with slew feet and knock needed and like to fuck and get her check out and welfare check and shit. Kept having babies and shit. The nigga was whipping her ass because she real black. Ain't got no hair but a little bit of pinch around the back and the side. He real black but fine. Pretty black ass nigga. All of us used to look at him because he walked down the sidewalk. He was sharp and he was real black. And you know how sometimes when people be like dark brown like that, color contrast, that they know how to dress and shit. This nigga had a cream, nigga had a 3-piece cream color suit on. I forgot what kind of shirt he had on underneath it and some nice leather shoe. I'm talking about this nigga was saying something, boy. This motherfucker know he could dress and he had muscles back then. We were in there seeing niggas that worked out. You know, he worked out, had muscle set and shit. Had an afro like a blowout, and they would color it with that black and then mold and shape that motherfucker and mold it off. And you know, back then nigga had the sideburns and shit. I'm talking about this nigga was saying something. Nigga like he came out of a GQ magazine. And then we looking at that, what I just described to you. Now I know why. She was taking care of him. She was paying him. Anytime you see a pretty nigga like that with an ugly bitch or older, and the bitch is not older and fine, the bitch older and ugly, like been ran over in the head. Now you know why. So he's telling me, the young boy telling me that she takes they kneecaps and busts their legs way back, like push them back to their hips, gap they ass cheek all the way open, and bury her mouth down like she eating groceries. Said that, yeah, Johanna, I found. I said, what is her secret? And then he wanted to talk to me. He said, he said she keep me in money. She take me shopping. She buy me clothes. She buy me shoes. And she was doing it to like 10 guys. And then her son, that's why I said I would never do that to my son. I don't care how cute the guy is. Um, and if they grown, because the guy had got grown. Well, about 10 years ago, my son got out. First time, 10, 12 years ago. And he said, but we was in high school. I'm grown now. You grown. Your son grown. And I said, let me ask my son. He said, why would you ask your son? You grown. I said, because he knows you. And I remember y'all got to find out like that you hit my child and you were older than him. And I don't understand why you did it. Like you don't like my son or you're jealous of my son or whatever. And my son said, hell no. If you do that, and then my son sent the guy a DM. They got into it. And he was like, don't let me catch you around my mother because you know what's going to happen. And he said, your son just threatened me. And when I saw that, I called my son. I said, let me tell you something. This is over before it begins. I'm not interested anyway. Now, if I didn't know him and I met him and he were younger and I liked him, he never did nothing to you. We never seen. If I really liked him, he liked me, and I saw he was really for real. We would just have to work around this. But because of the history, let me tell you one thing, and I don't want you to ever motherfucking forget it. I will always be your mother, and you will always be my son. And I will never pick a nigga over you. But you know, because of this, the way this started, and I don't like this guy. And I believe he was jealous of you because I think he hit my son because he got mad because a lot of girls used to like my son. And he was older than my son, but the older girl liked my son. And he tried to, I think, push my child over a two-story balcony. And that it was a two or three-story balcony. I said, aren't you the one that did that? And I said, it's a no for me, dog. Because stuff like that, you know how you mothers, I'm only talking, let me talk to a certain type of mother, okay? I'm not talking to you bitches like my mother. I'm talking to you bitches like me. I carry my child in my womb. And I love my child from the moment I felt a flutter, okay? And the thought of fucking a nigga that tried to push that flutter off of a second story building, you could never you could never get close to me. I couldn't, and I had to make something very clear to you because I'm not like the mothers you knew and the mamas that would play with you when you were a high school child that they had no business doing that to you, but you wouldn't tell them because you liked it. I said that you can forget it. I would never do that to you. I would never do it to myself. And so it was over. But with this lady here, she liked, we used to run, it was always young niggas hanging at her house. And when her nigga wasn't home, she always had these young boys around her house. My grandmother never played that. She told me to never do that when I got grown. So she was one of the ones, and it wasn't that many. Watch a woman that always got, let me tell you this, watch a man that's always got a lot of little girls, young girls around his house. Watch a man that always has a lot of young boys around his house. Watch a woman that's always got only girls around her house, or girls and boys, because she both, either one of them, they do both. Watch a woman that's got a lot of boys, even if she has sons, because if she always, I'm talking about every day, they're eating there, they're drinking there, they're spending the night. Something you don't know, And so when he tells me this, I'm now learning, and I went to my grandmother, and she explained because my grandmother they didn't like to tell us stuff, so I understood that, and her son still didn't know until he got into an argument with one or two of the boys. Oh boy! And it was early, so everybody was up. Regular people outside. My grandma was up. Everybody saw up. They didn't know what it was about, but some of them did know. That was close. That's how I found out. He started saying, "That's why I fuck your mama and she eat my ass and give her a check." He starts going into all these details, and then all the other boys bust out laughing because they had been doing it too. He was so hurt. Oh yeah, let me say this right quick. She had a younger child. When I was talking about how black and fine that nigga was, and she real dark skinned, that pair. She is pregnant, and she says it's by him. She has this little boy that's high yellow with thick black curly or sandy brown hair and light eyes. Oh Jesus. And we all laughed, of course. That man was still there, but that's another reason why I told y'all about that silhouette boxing and that hot boxing and shadow boxing at night. Cause he would tee off in her ass every time he looked at that baby. Because now sometimes let's say he might have some white peoples in his family, or she got some white peoples or mixed peoples in her family, or light skinned people that look like that. Because a lot of black people have people look like that. Okay, he said he didn't, and she didn't. That's why he said his mother wasn't light, his father wasn't fair skinned, nobody. So he didn't know of any family members that they could put it on. And back then, they ain't had no DNA testing, and he tore that ass up. I'm talking about it was like a every other day type of ass whooping. And I'm talking about she would be hanging up her clothes with a big. You could kind of look over the black Beetlejuice ring because that was on top of it was a red and burgundy and dark blue ring where he done bust this bitch in both of her eyes. But she is bragging because she tough now. I got to get it to her. She stayed on her feet with him. She might have been knock needed and sloopy, but the bitch could stay up. He knock her down, the bitch get up. She wasn't that tall either. He was tall and musky fighter. She fight back. Goddamn it, they be up and fighting. And she said it was about that little boy. I know shit now what happened to her, but her older son, was so hurt When all the boys started laughing, and I don't know, like something in his gut must have known the boy wasn't lying. He asked his mother, and she couldn't deny it. They had a big china cabinet. He was so angry. He picked her up, and she did not fight him. She didn't do it to her son. He picked her up as high as he could pick her up off the ground, slammed the back of her body into that china cabinet, glass and everything all broke off all in her head, all around the side of her head. Yeah, glass broke off in her back, all in her ass and shit. And who just slamming her and beating her ass all in there. Glass all around the side of her head. Had to pull the piece of glass out of her ass and shit. I mean, what could we say? What the fuck could you say? You a nasty bitch. A nasty goop, goblin, calm, eating bitch. And you did that to your child. After that, I don't think they were ever the same. He didn't speak to her for a long time behind that kind of thing. And see, that's why. First of all, that's not in me to do. I can control my sex urges, but cheerings, that's never been my thing. Looking at somebody cat and want to fuck all on them, that ain't never, been my thing. And, looking at somebody poodle and they German shepherd and shit, I ain't never like whistle and said, little Peter, come in and, you can eat some of this Chinese food and stuff over here and even gonna fuck tonight. That ain't never, I just never got off on, roof, roof. It just never, that sound never just made my shit hot. Well, I want to do some shit like that there, But just a lot of these black motherfuckers do. Y'all be trying, that's white people. White people. No, the fuck it ain't. No, the fuck it ain't. Anyway, see, that's the kind of shit also DMX was talking about, how it lead. You just said, see, just like the, Denzel Washington said on Training Day. When they was in there hitting that man in the alley, and he trying to tell the white police that nigga ain't no good. You need to lock him up, the nigga lying and all that. And okay, yeah, well, you gonna get in there, suck some dick, and he said, yeah, that's how it started. That's how how lot of these motherfuckers is. I don't care if it is his mama. She put herself in that position. You deserve what the fuck you get, and she should have been arrested. Because these children in Georgia, some of these boys she was fucking was 14, 15 years old. And you still have a level of honor and integrity and duty and obligation and responsibility to your children, your family, your community. So as a mother, I don't care what you say. That's just certain things and certain spiritual boundaries and principal boundaries and principality of this thing. Fuck principle. It ain't the principle, the principality of this motherfucking thing. She deserved what the fuck she get. And you sent your son into a rage. The pussy he came out of, he knowing 10 of his homies going in. Girl, get the fuck up. I'm over here away from that shit. And if somebody tell me that she got an ass beat by her own child, my name Emmett ain't in it, because it's just certain things you do not do. And if I was him, I would never trust him or her around no more of my damn male friends. And I really don't want her around my children, because what the fuck she gonna teach them? Because we know what she think. We know how she live. We know what this bitch believe. Shit. This bitch don't even have spiritual principles and duty to her ancestors and God. Whatever God is. Or I don't know, maybe Satan her God, because he for that kind of shit. But whoever you serve. But you should have found some other young boys to fuck besides your children friends that close right there. And then your son is trying to insult the boy, not knowing that he's not going to be able to issue out the type of insults that this boy now finna unleash on him, because he fucking his mammy. That's just and she looks like a mammy. A mammy made bitch. It's just certain shit, baby. You just should not do. It's certain things you should not do. And to me, that's one of them. It's one of them, and her son should never forget it. Mm. So DMX is saying, you better put these altars on top. He said, you better have an open altar, and you better have an underground altar. You better have a hidden altar. He said, because all of them do. They put out one agenda to you, but underneath it's another. He said, they're going for the children. Now, let me tell you this one more thing, and I'm finna go. Y'all remember, it was last week. I'm just telling you about these kidnappers, and they done unleashed these predators. This shit is starting. I said these bodies are gonna start coming out of these basements and out the ground. They throwing a signal to each other. It's like a sign code throwing them on the street. Okay. Let me tell y'all another way they are kidnapping the children. Right after I did that show, a lady that had already ordered the War Room Sage from me and the Nipsey Blue Sage, she said, fuck this here, because I just did that show. She said, I need the sigils for all my children and some more sages. And I sent her, I think somebody she didn't ask for that. I think I might have thrown her in some black and red. That War Room. I might have, but I gave her some sage. And she wanted the sigils and she wanted I gave her for all of her children, and she's got to write their birthday and name on the back. It was real weird because the day after I did that show, I'm getting chills all over now. She contacted me. She said, I need it right now. I need a prayer over them. And she said, because I need protection. She just felt like she needed it. This was last week, okay? So when she is texting me this, and I said, let me see all of the children. Do a face shot. I need to see their eyes. And let me see the main teacher of all of the children and take a picture of the front of the school with the name. I said, I don't care if it's different schools because she has, several children. I said, I need to see all of their school with the name, and I don't need to see all of the teachers if they have to change classes. I need the main one because it's going to tell me what I need to know. Their main teachers were white teachers. I looked at two of them and I saw Halloween. I said, those are witches. You have witches that are over your children, and the spells have already been released into the classroom to, oh man, you know what? That might not have happened. That might not have. Okay, I'm going to tell you the reason why I said that here. Do you know the same day that she told me to put that order together and I started consecrating the seals, I didn't know she was at work. She gets home a few hours later. Her neighbor said, hey, come here. The social workers done came over here at your house. They done opened a case up on you today and they trying to take your children. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, did you see a notice? Did you see a card from CPS, from the school? Did the school tell you and you just didn't tell me that there was already an open case? Did something happen at the school and your children? She said, no. That's why I don't understand this. I said, you see how you're contacting me the same day and I'm telling you what I see with these teachers, and then a few hours later they done showed up trying to take all your children from you? She said, yeah. I said, that's weird. I said, the spirit is working here because you felt the need. They told you to call me and put this shit together. So I'm putting this together. So I said, you got to go up there tomorrow. You got to call them and see if they're open case you don't know about. And her children said it wasn't. Okay. CPS didn't come back. They didn't call her job. They didn't show up at the house. But she said the state that she live in, they don't have to leave a message. Like, in Georgia, they'll let you know. They'll go to the school. They'll go to the court. They'll come to you. You can't say you didn't know. They'll go to the police, or if the police was called or some conflict, your child live. Everybody gonna know down here. They're gonna get involved. Nobody would say nothing to this lady the next day. She investigated, and this is what the fuck she found. I said, see if it's anything else and anybody else that's happened to, because there are only certain children, like I told y'all, that they're going to target. The good ones full of light, that are ignorant, that are good-hearted, but don't know nothing because they are not protected and their parents are not doing spiritual work and they're not teaching them to do it. They're not consecrated at home, inside the house, outside the house, on the school bus, in the car, or in school, and them teachers is open for it. Okay. They have done this to several, and they took some twins. And I said the Illuminati love twins. And I think it's some black twins. They don't care. All the children, I said, look at their IQ. Because some of the mothers she knew. I said, see, could you talk to the parents? See if they're attractive, if they're gifted. What is it about them? Are they spiritual children? She said a couple. I think so. From what I talked to the parents, because one of them like lived not too far from there. They took them, and they took them last year, and they still found them. Let me tell you why I'm telling you this. Okay, that's the one reason. They have these laptop computers that they got AI tech in the computer. It will take a picture of you. It got a camera in the picture, in the laptop, with the AI technology that will simulate the way you talk, your cadence and your syntax. Is that the right word here? The way you put your sentences together. In the house, listening to the mama, watching the mama, listening to the children, watching the children. The mother said she was discussing something with the children. I forgot what she said. I got to ask her again. The computer done synthesize the sentences of the mother and said the mother said something she didn't say. The teachers now listening to the shit, recording the shit at school, and got a tech person that in secretly went behind their back, backdoored it, put the software in all of the children's computer and said by law, because I said get the contract and tell me what it say, but they don't know that. Said they must take this home. It has been spying for them, and then this thing. Well, didn't I tell y'all what Nipsey said and what Wendy Williams said and how to create an avatar? And it gets into the mind of the person. They are sitting here. The computer is transcribing it, and the technician is printing, saving this, putting on hard drive, printing it out. Because I told her, the girl went up there, met the technician that created the software that's doing this shit. Took it to someone else she know. They went in there and found this shit. Okay? Thank you, Christy Love. That's a very good idea to donate. Thank you, baby. She everything I told her to do, she did it. Everything I said she went and found. She went there and confronted them, and they admitted it. Now they have a false case on her and all the other people. We're gonna have to take your children. Took them people children, putting them in foster care. They want them to go, and they can't always talk to or see the children to see how they doing. And then you know what they're gonna do to a lot of them, right? The sex trafficking and the human sacrificing them. See, that's another way they are kidnapping and murdering and brainwashing them. Then they put them under the, what's your new friend? Your friend is now iRobot. Didn't I see? Oh, but they say I'm crazy and all this here, and don't listen to me and don't talk to me. And but everything I say, if it take a while, it always come back, don't it? Always come back around. I'm waiting for her to give me the follow up, but she begged me to please warn y'all. Thank you, Kedra. I'm sorry, Akeda. Thank you, baby. So she begged me, and I wasn't feeling good. I said, baby, let me get to him. So now I got some orders together and stuff. I had to. I feel a little better. I ate my potato. Y'all hit my cash up, make it clap. You better set up these things, because see, this is another person. Remember, OJ said this here. The others have said it now. DMX and Aaliyah is saying this here. And so this must be also not the spider, just as you're the spider. The 10 gods and goddesses of Olympia have been released. The vampire has been released. And a lot of y'all going to get caught up, because a lot of these people don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe it. It's getting hot. People want to fuck, shake their ass, go out here and peep my park and suck some dick out there and shit. See, and everywhere, wherever it's hot and beautiful at, they finna be out. And they got them watching and waiting. Damn, why do my jaws keep popping? My mason jaws, like they release some air or something. I know there's some spirits and they're talking in them jaws. Okay. I love y'all. I'm glad y'all love me. What you said, they just gave my kids the Chromebook. You know what you need to do? You need to get your own technician to check it and see what's hidden in there, where the software is, and get it removed. I'm telling you, if they gave you the computer to bring home, you're being spied on, and the child, you have no privacy in your home. That's the way to get it in there. And they're going to make the child take it home. But if I was you, you need to have that child not even in that house, where it can't hear nothing y'all say, nothing discussed between your family, your husband, your wife. It needs to be in a separate place. You need to keep it there where you do your work and the child do their homework. They have to be on that one. Do a separate computer, honey, because I am telling you, they're giving you this computer, and that is a Trojan horse. That is not a good gift to give. You think it is, but that's a goddamn it setup. But you said down here in Lauderdale, they're collecting the laptop today. You, before they do, you better take out what you can take out of it, because you don't know what they recorded in there. And you don't know what they're going to take out and then twist it and use it against you and say you said that you were going to do this, or you beat your child, or you threaten your child, or you're a pedophile. And see, they're going to believe it because the person that's running the tech is going to say the AI transcribed what the fuck you said. I'm telling you now. Now you know what I always tell you all. Don't believe me. Go and research what I'm telling you, and you come back and this shit fucked up. I done told you we're already in the fifth dimension now. They done took it over. I told you it's the rise of the iRobot. And when she told me this, I couldn't believe. I said, didn't I say that? She said, that's why. She said, I don't know. Something told me to call you. Yes, Tanya. I told y'all. That's when Nipsey started saying that. I love you too, music child. Anyway, thank you for the people that donated for the first show I did about an hour or so ago. And I appreciate your love and support and donations now. And the ones that donate during the show and after the show. I love y'all. I'll be back. I told y'all about that skynet shit, Nikki. You see what I'm saying? Baby, covering a computer is not going to stop the mic. If you got software embedded in the computer, you can cover it. It's still going to listen and record what the fuck you saying. And then flip it the way they want to say what they want to say that you said. Who they going to believe? They're going to believe that AI. And the tech that put you covering the computer ain't going to stop no damn mic. And them twit taking what you say and turn it round. But I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.